So every now and then I'll have an encounter in my comment section or on social media that gets a little bit, well, let's say less than positive. And that exchange will inevitably end with the commenter telling me, "Wow, I didn't expect you to be such a prick." Which I should say usually comes after they've opened up with how much my videos suck and how they wish my family would get cancer or something along those lines. However, it is I who am the prick, because that's just how it is. This is one of the hardest things about YouTube, because by nature of the medium, a lot of the time people don't actually treat you as a person. You are an entity, a brand, or even worse, you are entertainment. It's like Gladiator. YouTube is standing out there doing the whole "are you not entertained" thing the Russell Crowe does, you know the thing. And this particular type of commenter thinks that they are Julius Caesar, just looking for every single avenue to possibly make your life worse. But occasionally this feeling slips into other conversations as well. Because at a certain level, YouTubers get a lot of this. And so it becomes quite difficult to distinguish who is genuinely trolling or hating on you, as opposed to those who are just making a fun or snarky joke for the sake of, again, fun. Especially on the internet, where you can't tell any kind of tone whatsoever simply from writing in the comments. Like, in my early days on YouTube, there were times when I would properly go off at someone who I thought was being, honestly, an utter sack of dickery, only to later discover that they were joking, and if I'd read the comment in a different way, that was very obvious. Which then makes me sit and go, I guess I'm the bad guy here. I am the horrible person because I misjudged the situation. And you'd think I'd be able to pick up on that sort of thing because I come from Australia, the land where the C word is a synonym for friend. In fact, if your friends aren't calling you that, then honestly, they're not actually your friends. But being on YouTube forces most creators into a very defensive mindset that can be easily misinterpreted again on the internet. And that's why every YouTuber is a horrible person. Or at the very least, there is someone out there who has some sort of horrible story about that person. Because you don't have to do anything particularly controversial to get hate comments. You just need to exist. If you tick that box, then congratulations. Someone out there already hates you. And as an example, during 2021, my Grand Line review editor had to resign for personal reasons, so I made a call out to fill the position. I made a document with all of the necessary criteria, provided an email to send CVs to, and bam! Nothing particularly controversial, right? Wrong. Very wrong. Literally, the first email I received consisted of just 3 words, those 3 words being, "Go commit die." And I thought, what have I done this time? Because I get a fair chunk of hate messages, but it's usually because I've insulted some sort of fictional pirate that a real-life human has far too strong of an attachment to. But in this case, I'd done nothing. All I did was advertise a job position, but I would soon receive clarity on the matter. Because the very second email I got said, "You haven't committed die yet, but please do. You a bad content creator who too lazy to make vids. You are literally 1984 if it was a person, like a literal communist. Imagine being lazy to edit footage you don't own, literal loser. You don't even make content, you just steal from otters who make good content." Now, first of all, I would like to apologize to all of the otters who I stole content from. I didn't mean to impact the otter community negative. I'm a big fan of all of you because you're all so cute. Second of all, I don't understand how I'm a literal communist for wanting to hire a video editor. And thirdly, how did the sender know that I hadn't committed die yet? I very easily could have followed the instructions from the first email. He didn't know that, or did he? Maybe he had a camera set up in my room somewhere, which would make him the literal 1984 literal communist in question. In any case, whoever this was then proceeded to send the exact same message another 7 times, each from a different email address, interestingly, but all I did was try to hire a video editor. Now imagine the kind of message people send me when I say something that's actually mildly controversial. And by mildly controversial, I mean like X character is better than Y character for Z reason. That X, Y, and Z is reason enough to receive literal death threats on YouTube. So this is something that I really want to hammer home in this video. If you have an unfavorable experience with a creator that you really like and look up to, that might be a really sour thing for you because wow, what a dick they turned out to be. All this person had to do was have one pleasant exchange with you and they couldn't even muster that. But keep in mind that your single conversation pretty much comes in tandem with hundreds, perhaps even thousands of others. And after being told to go commit die somewhere between, I would say 7 to 10 times, a creator is probably going to be in more of a defensive mindset, and therefore a lot less tolerant and clear thinking than they would otherwise be. And this applies not just to YouTubers, but I suppose famous people everywhere. Saying this might become a running trend, but I used to work in theater. And one of the things that happens in theater is that you encounter a lot of, like, not famous, but mildly well-known people. Chances are you'll never have more than a passing exchange with them, but if that happens to be on a bad day, then bam, that celebrity is a horrible human being full stop, and everyone's going to know it. Now, to be fair, we did meet a lot of genuinely horrible people who were just awful full stop, but it really does just take one slightly negative experience to be branded as a horrible But it really only does take one slightly negative experience to be branded horribly throughout an entire industry. And YouTube, man, there is nothing you can do to avoid it. It happens when I say slightly controversial things, sure, I guess that's expected. It's a lot less expected when I'm just advertising for a video editor. But here's the twisted thing. It even happens in the most unexpected possible scenario, which is when you are raising money for charity, which I feel is the one circumstance where you should have definite immunity from being told to kill yourself. And yet, this year I had an initiative on Grand Line Review called September, where I pledged to donate 10 cents for every new subscriber that month to Make-A-Wish Australia. My idea being that One Piece is all about making dreams come true, so let's try and make some dreams come true. But holy crap, was I not prepared for some of the things to come. And first, let me just say that it was a huge success. Between the 10-cent pledge and the direct donations, we raised over $11,000, which is amazing. As it turns out, 10 cents can go an awfully long way. Others thought differently. Just 10? Wow, cheap ass dude. Or I guess cheap ass dude. Or, wow, Rahat's got to make a difference, 10 cents. And yeah, as I said, it does make a difference when you times that 10 cents by around 25 to 30,000, aka the average number of new subscribers Grand Line Review adds per month, something which I pointed out to this fine yet overreactive gent who snapped back with, that's 2,500. You make at least 4 times that per video. Stop the act. The A in act being capitalized for some reason. And I wish this man was employed at YouTube because I am very interested in these numbers. I'm definitely keen on making $10,000 per video, I won't say no. For some contrast though, here's the analytics from the charity announcement video which got 135,000 views and it made just under $300. All of which was sent straight to Make-A-Wish, and yes, I would usually get close to 200,000 views these days, but that still doesn't quite get me to that 10 grand per video number. So you deal a lot with that as well, people who think they know your business better than you do. That was definitely not the end of the charity-generated outrage though. What a toxic way to gain subs and views using something like this. Here I thought you were better than that, Glur. And honestly, in retrospect, I can see how someone would think that, because gaining subscribers is a direct benefit to me, sort of. It's complicated, they're not as important as you'd think. It doesn't mean I don't want them. In fact, I want you to subscribe here, now. But I spoke to Make-A-Wish directly about this specific idea, because I needed to have an official authority to fundraise from them. And they were beyond excited for it. They were so on board. Because one of the big running motifs on Grand Line Review is getting people to subscribe in new and funky, unique ways. So I thought, why not use that vehicle to benefit something that isn't myself for once? And I won't show this next comment because I can't be bothered to censor all of the copious swearing. But I also had one commenter threaten to audit my subscriber count, hack my financials, and ensure that I pay out to the exact cent. And I am just sitting here like, for the love of crap. My life would be significantly easier right now if I had just continued to be selfish and focused on my own personal growth, which is incredibly twisted, but I haven't even shown you the worst of these comments. There were some beyond vile things. So just trust me, you have not seen the true darkness of humanity until you've tried to raise money for charity on a public platform. But look, even if we took away the subscriber gimmick, the outcome would be the same. If you donate $5,000, someone is always going to call you literal Satan because you didn't donate $10,000. And if you did donate $10,000, then that very same person will say, well, why didn't you donate your entire annual salary? But even if you did that, the person would then ask, well, why didn't you sell your organs? How could you selfishly hold on to that there kidney when that easily could have been another $70,000 for charity? There's no winning, not ever. With all of that said though, it was 100% worth it because Make-A-Wish is a great organization that I admire a lot. And I think I may have gone on sort of a tangent here, but that's what this channel is. This channel is just one big tangent. But this is what I mean when I say there is nothing a YouTuber can do that won't be met with someone asking them to commit die. Which is why every now and then they may be, let's say, quicker to hostility than some other people. But I do also want to show the flip side of this. I think this video has painted YouTubing as a not so great negative thing, but it has a lot of positives as well. And for example, this is an email that I got legit this morning and its title is Thank You Joy Boy. Liam and team, I started One Piece in March 2001 off of a friend's recommendation. I was caught up with manga productions by September of this year. Since being caught up, your YouTube channel has provided me with that sweet, sweet fictional pirate fix I have desired, but the weekly chapters do not fulfill. I have been burning through your videos faster than Ace's God. Oh, that's dark. I have been burning through your videos videos faster than Ace's Vivia card, as well as following your channel, Dude in a Room. Oh, that's where we are right now. I wanted to reach out before the end of the year and thank your whole team for the time and effort put into the creation of these videos. You have provided me with countless hours, bountiful One Piece information uploaded straight into my feed, as well as many laughs throughout the end of this year. I appreciate the work you all do, and I'm looking forward to finishing Wano and further One Piece's entire storyline with you. Much appreciation from South Dakota, USA, your fan, Ryan. And wow, thank you so much for sending that, Ryan, because that is the kind of thing that really keeps us, or definitely at least me, going. Like, to think that someone was so positively affected by something stupid I did about pirates on the internet that they took the time out of their day to write a formal email of appreciation. Who does that? I'm not worth that, but thank you nonetheless. Because the vast majority of the comments we get do more closely resemble Ryan's words than they do the go commit die words. But every now and then you do get poked by that someone who is the exact opposite. Someone who takes the time out of their day just to attempt to make yours that little bit worse. Which is why I generally need to apply a healthy layer of cynicism when I read comments, because sometimes it is surprisingly hard to tell who is a Ryan and who is a go commit die.